Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new deck tech video. Today I wanted to present you a deck that I got from a good friend of mine, Life Coach. He was pretty successful with this deck previous DreamHack, which was DreamHack Winter, and he went to the semifinals or something pretty crazy. And it's a pretty unique deck and he's doing very well with it on ladder, and other people were doing very well with it on ladder as well. I don't know if it's his invention, but I saw it like him playing. Um, and yeah, so I call it like Life Coach Miracle Druid, and I'm going over the deck list here. And the reason why this deck is very efficient is it is very good against aggro decks, and mainly people will try to counter Druid with aggro decks with Hunter and Zoo. This deck is very good against those two, especially because it has a lot of early game removals. It has the Claw, Moonfire, Wrath, and the standard Innovate openers with Innovate Keeper, Innovate Violet Teacher. And sometimes you have the Innovate Shade, which is really strong as well. It's also very strong against controls. This deck is also very good against Warrior because Druid just has the nature of being good against Warrior. Because you every point of damage you raise against the Warrior, and he can't deal with your board, you can finish him off pretty easy turn 9 with the combo. Valkrov turn 2 is also really strong. It gives you the mana advantage and you will be ahead one turn against your opponent. So this deck is very strong. It even has the BGH if you're forced to play against Handlock or whatever. So overall, a really solid deck. I also played against Priest, and I was surprised that this deck is also very good against Priest because it has the Shudrakes, where Priest can't deal with 4 attack creatures and the Auctioneer. So a very solid deck. You have the Moonfire against a lot of 1/1s like Lepanomes. When you play against Hound Creepers, you can kill the 1/1s off sometimes, which is very important. You kill Loot Hoarders, and it costs 0 mana, so you can play it whenever. It has very good synergy with the Auctioneer and very good synergy with the Shudrake. So when you play against Zoo, you can use a Shudrake and Moonfire to kill Direwolves or Knife Jugglers. It has Claw. Claw is a very interesting card because it's one of the very few cards that actually deal with a Undertaker turn 1. If your opponent goes first, they will play Undertaker and then they will buff it turn 2 if they don't have the coin. So Claw is actually one card you can just play without using the coin, just to immediately deal with the Undertaker. I don't know if there's like any other card besides that. Well, a Shaman can deal with it with Rockbiters and Lightning Bolts, but besides that, there's only very few answers to a turn 1 Undertaker, and Claw is one of them. And it gives you also the heal, which is against the Hunter very important. So it's a very strong card in the current metagame. Valkrov turn 2 is just crazy tempo card. And when you have like a Violet Teacher as a follow-up, Violet Teacher and Moonfire also has crazy synergy. It's very strong. If because there's no Buzzard Unleash anymore for drawing cards, and if they play Unleash, they will mainly just clear the board and not get a card advantage. So this is really strong synergy. Shade, if you get the Innovate Shade, it's very strong against controls. You will trade efficiently, mostly 2 for 1. That you still play the Savage or Force of Nature combo, just one for Force of Nature, because you will have so much card draw, you will draw into the Force of Nature eventually anyways, and it's enough to push for damage. You play the double Savage Row because most of the time you will have like a lot of tokens to buff, and you're not really reliant on the combo to win the games. You have the Ashudrakes and the Gadgets and Auctioneers for card draw, which is crazy. And the Lores, so you will never be out of cards with this deck. Lower tap just on curve and to protect your board. It's pretty sick tempo card. It's the best card in the game in my opinion right now. It's very good against Miracle Rook, and yeah, it's very good overall to protect your board. Force of Nature, as mentioned, you just need 1 in this deck. You have many spells to get board control and to get a board to combo it with Savage War, so it's still good enough to play 1. Lord for heals. Against Hunter, most of the time I use Lord for heals because you have the Auctioneer and the Shidrex for drawing cards. Um, so that's like the only way how you lose the games, when they just race you down. And the Ragnar is just for pushing damage, and sometimes you get a free kill against a very big minion like a giant or Alex Strauss or something like that. And even if you just hit face, it's very good. Like Druid is the one of the very few decks that where just missing your target and hitting face is really good actually, because you will finish off your opponent with the combo one turn later, because they still have to deal with Ragnarus. So it's a very strong deck. I played it myself. I'm using it for climbing ladder. It's very efficient till GVG comes out. I would recommend playing this deck, and props to Life Coach for doing so well with this deck. So, and see you guys next week when the expansion comes out.